just sitting here watching you.
Oh, well, they don't want to see that. Okay. Well, the back of it is
You see, that side doesn't look that bad.
That doesn't size. Okay. I'll wait till Karen's on. Oh my. Good morning, everybody. Oh my gosh. It's the first time I've looked and saw what I'm wearing.
What are you wearing?
This is Wally's t-shirt.
Oh, that's all right. We wouldn't have known that if you hadn't have said it.
I got dressed in the dark this morning because I didn't want to wake up Wally. Good morning, Nancy. And I just looked on the screen and I have Wally's t-shirt on. Uh-oh.
Better not.
I do. Oh my. It was in my drawer. Good morning, Bobby. Am I slipping?
Maybe you are.
Good morning, everybody. We'll wait for...
And I can't even find any sticky here to...
Okay.
There we go, maybe.
Good morning, Rose.
Or maybe
Good morning, Phyllis.
Maybe that isn't going to work. There we go. We'll just have to watch it.
No, it's going.
Oh,
We need to get some tape.
I'll get some tape.
We're just getting situated, ladies. Hi, Evelyn. We've got 27 on already.
Oh.
27 people awake. Hi, Carolyn. It was nice to see you yesterday. Good morning, Daisu. Daisu, I love your colors. I love everybody's colors. Everybody's
so neat.
So different, and I love everybody's twist on it. I don't see Karen on yet.
Apparently, this tape is idiot-proof.
Okay, so as you notice, I got to put this up because we're sliding down.
I'm coming. Eventually, I will get there with tape.
I need a new holder for my iPad.
Do you think?
Yes.
If people could see all the conglomeration of tape you got going on.
I know. Good morning, Lynn.
Will you get a piece on the other side, or will that
No,
be good?
that'll hold it, I think.
It's such a nice looking stand.
I know. Good morning. Okay, so I'm waiting to see Karen online, and she's not online. She's at home today. But this is a special tribute to Karen. This whole video, because last week she growled, and she didn't growl. Good morning from Thunder Bay. She sat home and laughed all morning because my hair was a mess last week. So I purposely didn't fix my hair, as you can see.
Like that bird's nest in the back, guys? Isn't that cool?
I did that for Karen. Karen, what do you think?
Looks like way back in the, was it the 60s, 70s, when everybody teased their hair with those. Looks like you've been teasing your hair.
All right. I don't see Karen on yet. Darn it. She's probably going to miss today. Good morning, Charis. Okay, we have a really, I would call this a simple block today, wouldn't you? With a twist.
Simple block. It can be very simple, or it can be a bit more advanced.
Yes, it can.
You have the option.
You guys get the choice. I took, thank you, Terry. I took the simple option. Twyla did both options.
Well, I didn't do a full whatever, right?
Okay.
This is my full option.
Ruth, this is not my shirt. This is my husband's, in case you just cluing in, in case you're just logging on. Okay. Oh, we have somebody from Alabama.
Oh, do we?
Hi, Joyce. What time is it in Alabama?
Chilly, Alabama. I wonder how cold it is, Joyce, down there.
What is it here? You came, was it below 0 here?
It was 0 in my buggy when I was driving up.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I found the wind very cold.
Okay. So we will show you Twyla's blocks. We will. So you guys have the option to do the teeny ones, and I know what Nancy Steves is going to pick.
I do too. Okay, so this isn't the full block, but this is like the size
The square.
The square. So it's a shoe fly block this
is a
week.
shoe fly block. Isn't that cute? Twyla's block.
So,
how big is it? Just wait, I want to measure that. Do you know how big that is?
That's
it's
three
like
and a half by 3.5.
3.5.
And you would need 8 that size if you're doing the small option.
Oh, it's 7:05 where Joyce is, and she's awake.
Good for her.
Yeah. So 8 of these at 3.5, or you can do 2 of these at.
Those are 5 by 5 with some sashing in between and around. So you guys get to pick whether you want to tackle the smaller pieces.
And 8 of these.
8 of those.
Or
2 of the bigger.
These.
And the cutting instructions will have the sizes for both.
Yep.
So,
you want to get in try so you can see?
Well, we're probably soon going to switch the camera anyway, right?
Right. Okay. So, I am going to get started.
So, Deb is going with this option.
Yep.
The bigger option.
Of course.
I can almost guarantee Nancy will go with the smaller option.
I think they're both cute, actually.
And for Nancy, that isn't even really tiny.
No, that's not tiny for her.
So, okay, let's, here,
take that.
Oh, yeah, take that nice sticky tape off of there.
Okay.
We've got the most high-tech rig here you've ever seen. Okay. So, here would be Deb's blocks. And I didn't bother to put letters on these because it's very straightforward this week. So, you have the option to do your colors. You could do 2 blocks exactly the same color. You could do 2 blocks totally different. If you do the 8 option, you could do 8 totally scrappy, or you could do just alternate and do, 2 different colors or whatever you wanted. So that the choice is yours.
Or you can do any block. It doesn't have to be.
You can. So the finished block, when we are all done, when you sew the 2 together to make this, or when you sew the 8 together, wait till you guys see this. We're talking high tech here. Look at that diagram, guys. So if you were to sew the 8 together, you're going to sew 2 strips of 4 together and then join them down the middle. So the finished block, either option is 6.5 by 12.5.
So whatever you put in that hole, that's what you got to measure
when you're done.
But well, I really like this method. You say this is Lori Holt's method?
Well, that's where I've seen it. She has so when you make your shoe fly block, if you look at this.
I'm going to go ahead and start.
Typically, you make your half square triangles for your corners and then piece that into your 9 block. The way Lori Holt does it and the way that I've started doing it is I make a basic 9 patch. So like your... Whoops, I destroyed that block in a hurry, didn't I? Look at that. Wow. Here, I'm trying to get it back together, guys. There we go. So you make a basic 9 patch, and then you sew, after you get your 9 patch, then you put your corner unit on and do your half square triangle at the end. And it just saves you from fussing with those little pieces throughout the block or whatever. So you can do a basic 9 patch. Now, if you were going with similar colors in your blocks, you could actually do strip piecing for your 9 patch. If you were doing the 8 option and you were doing, 2 different colors, you could do some strip piecing and then cut your strips. So Deb's just doing a basic 9 block there, 9 patch.
Is the iron plugged on, turned on?
Oh, it was, but I think it's shut off. So here, let's click that one again. There we go. So she's just going to do a basic 9 block there, 9 patch. And she may do the other one too before she... I
will,
because she's going to change her foot when she gets ready to do the half square triangles in these corners, because she has that foot that has
doesn't do them that well.
That doesn't do them that well. So she's going to do both 9 patches up first. So this block, to do the 5-inch block, you are looking at cutting your squares in a 2 by 2. So both your background squares and your colored options would be 2 by 2s. If you're doing the little one, where'd it go? Right there. If you're doing this little one, you're cutting your blocks at 1.5-inch square. So for each one, you would need 5 of your colored fabric, whichever color you're choosing, and you would need 8 of your background fabric, 1.5 inches square. So that's your measurements for that. Now, if you're doing this option and we're adding the sashing, you need 3 of these pieces here. This one, and this one that measure 1.5 by 5. And then you need these 2 long strips on either side that measure 1.25 by 12.5. Now, your other option could be, if you're concerned about your blocks maybe not measuring exactly right, again, you could do that same trick that we did on the, what block was that we cut those bigger? Oh, the pinwheel blocks. So you could actually cut these 4 outer pieces a little bit bigger and sew them on, and then trim your final block down to 6.5 by 12.5 if you're concerned that your little blocks aren't quite the right measurement.
Fun.
That's all right. There, so Deb has her 9 patch done, or her 2 9 patches done. Here, let's get this out of your way.
Okay.
So now she's going to put those corner squares on. Deb's been busy working on her nautical option. Oh, she's got some cute blocks.
I can't wait to show them.
They are cute.
Okay.
She's got some really cute options.
I'm going to change my foot here. Just give me a second.
There she goes with her foot. So, let's see. I haven't been...
Has anybody been commenting, showing their blocks or anything?
Nancy is definitely doing the mini, she says.
I knew she would.
And Joyce from Alabama said it's 34 degrees. So that's 32 is freezing, and like we were right around freezing here. So about the same as here.
Okay. So I am going
Okay,
to...
so now she's to the point where she's going to, where's my, there I am. So now she's taking her block and she's going to put, she folded to make her mark, or you can draw from corner to corner. Can you see her fold there? Just point that out, Deb, your fold.
See my fold right along there?
So now she's just going to add those to each of the 4 corners.
This is a cool way, because 9 patches are so quick to make.
They are, and especially if you're doing similar fabrics and you can do strip piecing, right? And cut your strips, it makes it so much quicker. So if you're doing I was going to say a recipe, oh my word, a pattern. If you're doing a pattern that has like a lot of similar 9 patches, this is quicker for sure, because you can do the strip piecing and then do this.
So I've never done this before, this method. I've always done the other
Well, that's what I always did until I started following some of Lori Holt's
So this is right,
stuff.
Twyla, that my fabric comes beyond, right? Because that's my 1/4 inch.
That's going to be your 1/4 inch. You'll see when you trim it. That's going to be your...
Oh, this is interesting.
There she goes with her fold.
That is quick. What a quick way. And if I had a cutting mat here, I probably would. No, I wouldn't. I cut with my scissors.
So now she's just eyeballing a 1/4 inch seam there. Seam allowance.
And we open it up. Oh my soul!
So you get your seam allowance just like you're supposed to have around the edges. Oops, there we are. Sorry, guys.
Look at that.
There you go. So there is... So now she's got to do her second one so we can do the sashings together.
Okay.
We've got a sashing here on the floor. I'm going to try
I
to
think this is a new...
bend over and do this without
Without
making you guys too dizzy. Okay, there we go.
That's your yoga stretches there.
Yeah, like me and yoga stretches. There's nothing graceful or whatever about this body. Okay. Good morning, Sue. She says she's late.
Oh, Sue, wait till you see this method for making turn dashes. I love it. Probably everybody out there already knew it. I'm probably behind the bar.
Let's see. Did anybody have any questions? Oh, somebody had asked last week if the So Long was going to be finished by Christmas. I don't think it will be. Do you, Deb?
It's going to be close. It all depends on whether we're going to do one over Christmas. Like
the original size would probably be darn close to being done by Christmas.
Yes.
But if you're going to enlarge it, I can't see us having that all incorporated by Christmas.
I can't either. Some people have clued into what design, what layout we've
Yeah,
used.
which is fine.
Which is fine.
Because we're shortly going to be giving you the pattern.
Is it next week we reveal the pattern?
I think so, but don't hold us to that, ladies, in case when we get looking that we
forgot about.
we've forgotten something. But I'm thinking that by next week we're going to be able to reveal the pattern, because at that stage it's going to be easier for you guys to have the pattern in front of you.
And then if you want to go ahead and finish it on your own, you can.
Yeah.
Or you can follow along and find out how we make it bigger. Look how slick that is. So now I need to put this in between them.
Yeah, so now we have, so now she's doing the sashing. So she's starting by putting, where are we here? She's starting by putting this piece between the two blocks, and then she's going to do each end piece. So those pieces were, what did I say? 1.5, where are they? I've lost them. 1.5 by 5. So you need 3 of those 1.5 by 5s, and you need 2 of the 1.25 by 12.5. But like I said, you could always cut all of those a bit bigger, wider, add them to your blocks, and then trim your block down if you want a really accurate block. If you're worried that your shoe fly units were a bit smaller than they should have been, or whatever.
I really like the idea of making a 9 patch to do this block, don't you? Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's why I did it that way. Yeah, I just find it so much easier than dealing with those half square triangles and getting them lined up right into your 9 patch. And okay, she's got the middle one on, right? Is that what you're doing? Yeah, there we are.
I might spray some of that. Where's my spray?
I was going to say, we'll be lucky if there's anything in that. Every time I come forward, it's empty.
I use it so often.
Okay, so now she's got her 2 end pieces to sew on. So, ladies, you got a quick week this week.
Yeah, this won't take you long. What's this going to take me, like 20 minutes? Doesn't take long.
Now, if you want the variation of using all the different colors that you've got in your scrappy quilt, this option with the smaller blocks would be the way to go.
Yeah.
Because you'd get more variety in your blocks. And remember that if you go with that option, you need 8 of these little 3.5-inch blocks. And you're going to join 2 strips of 4 together and then join those down the middle.
You know, seriously, doing this 9 patch method, those little blocks aren't that big of a deal because you're not.
They're not near as bad. No,
you're not dealing with those little half square triangles.
They're not. But you don't have to do that method. If you're more comfortable doing the regular half square triangle method, you go for it. But it's just nice to show options sometimes. Donna says this is a good week for some of them to catch up.
Yes.
And that's true. So next week we are here. I just got to double check that, but yes.
We are here next week?
Yeah, we are here next Wednesday at 9. And that week, I'm trying to think. That week's going to be a bit bigger week, isn't it?
Yep, it is. Ignore my little white salvage. I'll catch that in my seam.
That was because her person cutting the fabric wasn't paying attention. And that person being me.
You to leave it. Isn't that cool? And quick.
There. So cool and quick. There you go. So, once again, Karen came to my rescue. And Facebook had changed. Last week I had an issue loading the PDF to the quilt project page. They had changed it up so that the option I had used the week before wasn't there. And you're looking at a person here that isn't very computer savvy. Anyway, Karen came to the rescue and told me what to do. So I think, knock on wood, I'm going to be able to upload the PDF this week into the quilt project page. And we will post some pictures of the different options there. So we'll get those on shortly.
Look how neat the points are. I didn't even cut points off with that method.
Yeah, see that?
I like it.
Okay, so now one last look at Deb's hair for anybody who joined late. Let's show Deb's new hairdo. What do you think, guys?
On yet?
This is the free
I
natural
did this
look.
I did this for Karen, and she's not even on. Okay, everybody, thanks for watching.
Okay, see you next
And we will
week at
see you next
9.
week. Bye-bye.
Bye.